right, who is ready for our last panel? All right, our last session is all about making connections and the power of building these relationships. We are going to be hearing from so many different speakers on different experiences in the restaurant industry, in the service industry, but also as an Instagram content creator. Our first speaker today is actually a founder of the Compassionate Chefs Cafe, and he has worked with more than 100 nonprofit organizations in San Francisco. And he is also the owner of New Delhi Restaurant. But above all, he is an educator with his diversity program about India that celebrates the multicultural diversity in American society. So I'd like to welcome Ranjan Dey.
Thank you.
It's been so fun to finally get you on stage here with us.
Welcome, thank you.
Ranjan, you are the head chef and also the founder of New Delhi Restaurant, right?
That's right.
Where I've had amazing meals. Now, I also know that, if I'm not mistaken, there's also a documentary being done on you, right?
Netflix is actually making a movie on my life, and I just got back from India. The producers are from Mumbai,
Wow.
and it's a story of my life.
Can you tell us a bit about this documentary that we're working on?
I started in India. I worked all over India in all different hotels. Then I went to Hong Kong, and I was managing 35 restaurants in 12 countries for Harilela Group from Hong Kong. Then at the age of 26, I started New Delhi Restaurant in Hong Kong. I had 5 New Delhi restaurants in Hong Kong, 1 in Bangkok, and 1 in Singapore. And it's in Hong Kong, when I was still working for the Harilela Group, I met my wife, Cody. Her mom and dad worked for US Navy. They were posted in Hong Kong. And she was managing a pub next door called Viceroy of India. No, I started the restaurant called Viceroy of India, and she was managing this pub called Prince of Wales Pub. So I can claim I met her through Viceroy of India and Prince of Wales, right? But this is my story and I'm sticking to it. The first time she saw me, she was completely taken by me. Yeah, it was my skill in throwing dart in the pub, because I could hit everything but the dartboard. So that's where the compassion started. So when we were expecting our daughter, Sarah, that's when we decided to move to US because China was taking over Hong Kong in 1997.
Right.
So Sarah was 11 months old when I opened New Delhi Restaurant in San Francisco. She is now 36. Our restaurant is going to turn 35. She has 6 kids, and my second daughter is 27. She just got married, so yeah. And within like 3-4 years after I opened San Francisco, I sold everything else all over the world, because less is more. Once you have done a lot, less is more.
How is this restaurant you now have in San Francisco more special or special compared to all the other restaurants you've managed and also owned and operated?
When I manage more than 2 or 3 restaurants, it is a different way of managing it. It's about numbers, it's about strategy, it's about bottom line. When I have just one, it's all about guest experience. And it's all about a one-on-one connection. So I love the San Francisco restaurant the most in my life, out of every other restaurant I have done.
So this whole session here is really focused on the power of connections and network. How would you describe networking and connections role in your life journey as both a personal and also professional? How has it defined who you are as a man today?
I think when it comes to connection, I think it boils down to your intention about why you want to connect. There are 2 questions. You can ask. One is, well, what is in it for me? And I want to connect with you. That's a different way. The other way is, how can I help? When you just change that, the intention is pure. Where the intention is pure, the universe helps you. That's when you connect in a pure form. Because you are there, just you're offering. How can I help? Otherwise, like, hey, what can I get from you? And I can see him coming from far away. You know, they're not going to connect with me. I will give you the lip service. I will exchange the cards with you. But that's it.
Right. What are things you look for true sincerity and authenticity when someone wants to connect with you in a sincere way versus someone who's just playing the part?
It's a very, very like a tough act. Okay, so let's put it this way. If you're a skier and you're skiing through the trees, and you're like, okay, where is the tree? Where is the tree? When you're doing that, you're going to hit the tree. But when you're skiing and, you know, where is the path? Where is the path? You will never hit the tree. You're looking for the path. So same with that intention. It's all about intention. I mean, how can I help? For New Delhi Restaurant, from day one, it has been about getting involved in the community. And that started in Tenderloin. We helped 300 kids in Tenderloin. And this is way before, you know, working with nonprofit became stylish. You know, it was 35 years ago. And it's all about connecting them, and then connecting 3,000 kids in Gandhi Ashram to become global citizens.
Wow.
And that kind of describes who we are. We are global citizens. And nothing is more delicious than having a plate full of food from all over the world, whether it is in cultural form, in friendship, in connection. So global citizen is the way to go.
That's beautiful. Now, you choose to, one of the many ways you choose to connect is through food. What is unique about that particular, or special about that particular modality of connecting with people? Because I've always thought that food is one of the most universal ways language is going to be spoken. But how do you see food as a vehicle of communication and connection?
The oldest behavior of the human race has been to go out, find food, cook, sit around a fire, eat together, tell stories, sing songs, and be connected. Restaurant is a modern version of it.
How do you, now food is constantly evolving, like now you have like your ready-made meals and food deliveries. Does that take away from the way food connects us, or is that just another way it's evolving now?
You know, in life, change is inevitable. Growth is optional.
Ah, wow.
For all of us, right? For me, my restaurant is all about experience. It's not about ordering on Grubhub or DoorDash. You're not going to get me. You can't pack me, put it in a little, like all flat, cut into small pieces. No. So it's all about experience. You come to my restaurant, you're going to get me. And that's why I love this restaurant the most, because you get me, and I'm there. I can't do it when I'm managing 35 restaurants in 12 countries, you know? And I love it the most because that's where my community comes from. Our Compassionate Chefs Cafe is not a huge organization. It's small, but it's all focused on enhancing the quality of life for kids who are in situations where they never chose to be there.
That makes sense. Your mission and also the experience you want to provide to, I don't even call them customers, almost like your patrons and your community members, is that scalable? is it possible to expand that and minimize the quality that comes with growing something, or can one not exist with the other?
Yeah, it's kind of like scalable is a dirty word when it comes with ROI, and I don't care for it. I am giving you an experience, and I'm not really interested in scaling it. Absolutely not. I mean, every month I get offers, like 10 or 15 offers to open other restaurants. I'm not interested. I'm interested in quality versus quantity.
Yeah.
Quality will actually making you scale up from within. And
Like
you
that.
would love enjoying each moment of your life without scaling it so big that you're going crazy, you have no idea, and tomorrow you're going bankrupt because you've scaled it up so much.
Yeah.
And that's how a restaurant closes. Because when you scale up, you have no idea what is going to happen. You know, scaling up has a lot of pitfalls.
Yeah.
Scaling up is very easy word to say, but when it comes to doing it, because I have done enough, I hate it. I mean, hate is a very strong word. But I dislike it because, you know, you can't, like for example, 7 of my core team in my restaurant has worked with me for 27 years.
Oh, wow.
27 years out of 35 years. That scaled up.
That's true.
That's a scale you cannot measure. It's so high because we are way more than family. You know, but the thing is, that was the hardest like exam I ever sat for during COVID.
Yes, I want to talk about that. So, what was it like to have to power through those last 2 years?
So I started my first restaurant when I was 26.
Yeah.
When you're a businessman, small businessman, you're on your own.
Yeah.
It is very lonely. It's very hard. Nobody is there to turn to. You know? And you are hurt. You're crying. But I always made sure I wiped my own tears. Because if I'm asking somebody to wipe my tears, they can ask for something in return.
That's right.
But that all changed when COVID happened. I didn't know what to do. You know, we were closed for 14 months, and I had depleted all my savings because I was taking care of my extended family. I mean, this is the time to, these are defining moments. This is the time to do something about it. I didn't have any funds. That's when Cody, my wife, my 2 daughters, my 2 son-in-laws, they said, you can ask for help. And I resisted it. I resisted it like crazy. I said, no, I don't want to ask for help. But then I said, I didn't have any other choice. So I did ask for help. I did a GoFundMe. This is before any PPP or anything for the first 90 days, you know. I was so surprised. We raised $45,000. And it helped us overcome the hurdle. It was not just Bay Area, it was all over America, all over the world. That's when I realized, yes, there are people who will come wipe your tears that don't want anything in return. They just want to help you.
Right.
Because my family said, you have always been there, you have always done something because you just wanted to help the community. This is your turn. So finally I gave up and I said, yes, I'm going to ask.
Love that.
You know, when I was young, I was like a buffoon. I thought I could do anything. I'm the big man. I don't have to ask any help from anybody. But COVID changed that. And I'm so happy for it, you know. It made me realize something so different. And that's the community for which we are standing today. is the community.
I have a question then, and this is something I've observed. People are so good sometimes at building their network, right? That when it comes to ask for help, they feel scared to take advantage of that network they built. Why is that?
You see, I volunteer as a board member for the City College, at the Department of Entrepreneurship and Innovation, because we as immigrants, most of us come with $10 in our pocket. There is two different, like immigrant families. One is so super rich, they're here to play. This is their playground, right? But 95% are here to work hard. Today, our network is our network.
Yes, I like that. Yeah.
And it's the small immigrants who don't have that network. So I am there to provide it. I am there not to teach them how to get a license, how to get a loan. I am there to give them mentorship, give them network, tell them what to do when shit hits the fan, which nobody can teach, unless you've been in the middle of it.
Right.
And that's where they can become amazing contributors to our society and our community. That's why I want to volunteer there.
As we have a few minutes left here, what is maybe 2 or 3 really key, powerful pearls of wisdom you would like to share with everyone here as they begin to empower and build their network?
Just be yourself. Find a way to help somebody. Don't be afraid. Sometimes you are the only person who holds you back. Find a way you can help and look for the path to the tree. So if you want to connect with him, just find out, really find out, really be interested how to help him. And come and say, hey, I want to help you.
You have dinner with you guys.
Come to my restaurant.
We'll meet at you guys.
So once you're authentic, once your intention is pure, and you're there to offer help, people will, respond in a positive way. If you're there just to take, people can feel that too.
When can we expect the documentary to be released from Netflix?
I have taken 2 years at least. I'm writing the story, and I am writing my stories because the most important thing was what should be the format, right? So that took me quite some time. And the way the format is going to be is like I do in my restaurant. I just go to a table, ask them, talk to them, and that's going to be one of the scenes. And then they will ask, how did you survive COVID? So then the story goes. And I'm writing it with my younger daughter. So it is already so delicious. I don't really care now whether I will do the book or the movie, because we are sharing, we are laughing, we are crying. It's just fun to do it.
Wow.
So yeah, there is so many stories of my drinking water for so many ports in the world. So yeah.
You are a very, very wealthy man, and I mean that in the most holistic way possible. We can all hope to be where you are someday in our lifetime.
So we can all achieve everything and anything we put our mind to. So
thank you. I really feel like I just interviewed Gandhi.
it's very true, very true. But as a small businessman, I do believe in a little bit of balance when nothing else works, unlike Gandhi. And before, when I had more hair, I looked like John Lennon.
Thank you so much.